Aren't you worth spending the money on your own body and health to buy local food that's fresh rather than something that's traveled thousands of miles? Aren't you worth that? I'm worth it.
My take on it is that I think that a lot of people are lazy, unfortunately.
I think everyone should care about local food, A, because it supports your local farming community, and everybody eats 3 times a day.
Along with this demand for locally produced food is a demand from our consumers to be able to establish a community around healthy food. And being able to connect with their farmers and know their farmers, to the consumers, it's a very important piece that they get to sort of become a part of this local community.
You know, eating local, you're not only supporting your community, your region, but you're eating what you're supposed to be eating. You know, I mean, we're human beings. Bananas, you know, maybe we weren't supposed to be eating bananas here in Massachusetts.
And when you think about how far our food is traveling right now, if we're to experience any kind of, national security issue and we're cut off from our food supply, New England, Massachusetts, I think the statistics are we have a 3-day food supply in our state right now. So at any point in time, the trucks aren't coming in from elsewhere, and 3 days will eat up all the food that are on the supermarket shelves.
There are plenty of farms in California that are huge, that grow organically, and they, a lot of them ship their produce out to the East Coast, and it ends up in grocery stores. And though that was farmed using organic methods, it's not grown locally, and a lot of energy was taken to carry that food from California to Massachusetts.
We never know when the price of oil is going to spike again, and food's going to become much more expensive on the supermarket shelves because of the transportation costs.
But people are so fixed on these ideas that they should be able to get any kind of produce at any time of the year from anywhere they want, and just like fixated on this idea that nothing should be out of their reach and nothing should be inconvenient. And I think it's really getting over that mental shift that's going to sort of be the tipping point for the local food movement.
Because if your health is really important, then you got to make some really hard choices, And if it's your community you care about, you got to make some really hard choices.
The New Entry Sustainable Farming Project is a beginning farmer training program, and we help people with an interest in commercial farming to get started in agriculture through business planning, production planning, and marketing planning. Our real mission and our job is focused on training new farmers and the next generation of new farmers, so we're reaching out to people who want to get involved in a very hands-on, tangible way in producing food in this agricultural system.
The farmers in our program come from countries other than the U.S., so they like to produce vegetables that are familiar to them from their homeland.
Richard Brum. I come from Cambodia to United States 1985. The owner farm say, hey, you can stay whole your life, I stay whole my life. I like farm.
A lot of our farmers actually do have full-time jobs and they have families. A lot of them are taking courses towards graduate degrees, and so they're real busy.
I work right here look like 2-3 hours compared with the factory 8 hours. Because I work by hand, I have a bartender. Oh.
But more lately, over the last 2 years or so, we've seen an increase of interest from people who are born in the U.S. who don't have backgrounds in farming necessarily, but they're reassessing their lifestyle and they would like to live a more sustainable life, and suddenly considering farming as an occupation. And we find that a lot of these folks are generally career changers, young college-educated people who are coming to us for the education they need to be able to start their own businesses in farming.
My name is Heidi Reinhard, and I farm here on Oganowski Field. In order to make my place in the world, I have to do something like grow food. Food for me, for my family and friends, and for anybody who shares the same sort of philosophy. And also assist in educating people who don't know really what's going on and how they're duped constantly. I should be out playing in the dirt. My sister calls it dirt therapy. You know, like, excellent, I'm being therapized every day. How cool is that? Jellos here. We harvest them already, but they turn this really beautiful, bright red. And they're a super sweet fry pepper from a small town in Italy. Of course, who knows what they're known as over there, you know? Bet you Jimmy Nardello doesn't even know he's famous for his peppers.
Our focus is obviously providing people who come from other countries as well with access to their traditional foods. So I think that's important to have a little bit of everything. And if we can grow anything here, it's great. I mean, as long as it's not becoming something invasive and out-competing, you know, native crops and becoming a huge problem, I like the diversity, so we encourage it.
Now that's awesome. That's nature.
CSA is an acronym for Community Supported Agriculture. And it is a program where there's a direct link established between the farmer and the customer. And once a week, the customer receives a box of healthy, fresh, locally produced vegetables that's enough to last for a week for their family. And they get it directly from the farmer.
And the customer develops more of a sense for seasonality of how vegetable crops are grown over the course of the season, what's available during which times of the year. And it offers a great opportunity for the farm to have a ready market. So they're getting investment up front to pay for supplies and materials like seeds and plant materials and things, and gives them some operating income. We have sort of a unique CSA program. It's called the World Peas CSA because we work with many different farmers. It's a multi-producer CSA, so at any given time there are 35 farmers who are each growing different fruits and vegetables for the CSA share that we provide. So in some cases our CSA is a little less risky because if one farmer has a crop failure, we have 33 other farmers that could possibly provide the lettuce that week. So we always have, you know, a good rounded group of producers who are contributing to that.
My name is Marilyn Hartman. I'm the market manager here at Bedford.
Trust that's built up into it too. I mean, if someone asks you a question, like if you're spraying your food, it's really hard to lie to them, you know, to their face, you know. So, but if you're not spraying and they can see that when they ask you that question, then that's where the rapport stems from.
I find that the cost and the prices of the foods here are not necessarily significantly higher, and the quality that I get for what I do pay for, I very much appreciate, and it's nice to be able to eat it the same day that I purchased it and really taste the difference.
This food came from 10 miles away. It didn't come from 1,000 miles away. This lady made the granola and the pastries that are on her table. She made all those aprons. She made those. These people here made this cheese. She grew those vegetables. I used to be a consumer of factory farming, and I am not anymore. It's a cruel and environmentally unsound decision to make.
I opt to go to grocery stores instead of farmers markets, not because I wouldn't necessarily prefer to go to farmers markets. It's just one, I live nearby here, so it's convenience out of location, and also it's a lot less expensive, and I'm a student, and so I definitely have a limited budget all the time.
If you would try and give me a tomato from either the grocery store or the market, I'm not sure if I could tell the difference.
I think the main reason I'd like to shop local, but it seems like it's more affordable to shop at a chain grocery store.
You have to start thinking about not money, because you know what? When all the fish are gone, and all the air is polluted, and all the water is polluted, and all the land is polluted, you can't eat money. You're not going to be able to eat your money.
You know, we hear about these areas where, especially in low-income areas, inner-city areas, people really have no access to fresh, healthy, locally produced food. In fact, they have no access to healthy food at all, you know, despite wherever it's produced.
And there are a lot of groups, you know, helping encourage farmers markets in neighborhoods where, you know, they might be called food deserts, where there aren't grocery stores and the only access to food they have is in convenience stores that carry junk foods.
But slowly, over time, over the last 5 years, our organization has been getting out there in the communities, going to churches, speaking at community events, and connecting with people one-on-one to talk with them about the importance of healthy food.
My name is Sam Anderson. I am Livestock and Outreach Coordinator at New Entry. Basically, that means for outreach, I go to events like this, the Boston Local Foods Fest, and set up a table and talk to people about the program.
My name's Matt. We're Enterprise Farm from Western Mass, a town called Whately.
Welcome to Boston.
Welcome to Boston. This is the bus. One of our missions is to get fresh food into what we call food deserts, areas that don't have access to good fresh food. The bus is our vehicle to get it there.
So I don't see any end to this growth right now. It seems to be infinite to me.
You know, if everybody just paid a little bit more attention to what they're eating and how it was produced and who produced it, I think that would go a long way toward shifting our culture of industrial food back to something much more sustainable.
As people become more sensitive to the environment and become more aware of what it takes to truly live sustainably, they realize a lot of it comes down to the way you live. And the way you live includes what you eat.
You know, besides just sustaining us, there's a whole kind of emotional attachment to it. So it brings you home, and that's like what a lot of what food does.